Okay, for this first topic, we have vocabulary about cities. And you have a short test. So cities for young people. Imagine that you can move to any city in the world. What do you look for in a city for you? What aspects do you think are more important? Do you think that transportation, public system transportation, is it important for young people?
Yes, more
Okay,
important.
that is one example. What other aspects do you think makes a city good for young people? For example, Cholula, that is a city for young people. Why?
Por dentro.
Yes, because you have nightclubs, you have bars, you have restaurants that is attractive for young people. What other aspects?
University, no?
Yes,
No.
universities. What else?
Tourism.
Parks. Gastronomy.
Gastronomy, okay. And specifically for young people, what is important?
Different attractions.
Again?
Different attractions.
Yes, attractions, activities for your free
For
time.
example, Six Flags.
Okay, probably if you have amusement parks, that is a good option for young people. What about safety? Do you look for a safe city? Safety. Do you understand safety?
No.
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 Safety is when you can walk at night and you're a little bit drunk, but nobody is going to rob you. You can be safe. Safety. It's a safe city. When there is police officers everywhere, when there are police officers everywhere, and you feel safe. Okay? Safe.
Okay.
Now let's read this short text about cities. Please. Roberto Morales, could you please read the text?
Yes. And the world's biggest and most important city are not necessarily the best city to live in, especially for young people. Many of them are really expensive, have traffic problems, poor, poor public transportation system, and high crime rates. Young people look for somewhere to study or to live are carefree
Carefree.
and want
Yes, they are relaxed.
to explore new lifestyles. Have a look at our list of the top 10 cities for young people to live in.
Okay, so that you were correct. They look for a place to study, somewhere to study, so they need universities. They look for attractions, so you say new lifestyles, bars, restaurants, and amusement parks, places to spend their free time. But also, they pay attention on the coast because they look for cities that are not expensive. They are students, they have a part-time job, so they prefer cheap places, not really high prices.
Teacher.
Okay, so here we have vocabulary related to cities. Please, Diana Evelyn, read from 1 to 5.
Okay. 1. It has clean, safe streets.
Okay, questions about this?
Mm, is
Questions?
no.
Uh,
No? Yes? No? Okay.
what is carefree?
Carefree is when we have two words. Care. ¿Qué es care? What is care? Take care.
Carefree.
pero
Cuidado.
palabra compuesta, cuidar, care. Y el otro es free, libre, libre de preocupaciones, que no te estés preocupando, solo
Despreocupado.
quieres vivir la vida, ¿ok? To live, are carefree and want to explore new lifestyle. Like relax, carefree. Realmente no tienen preocupaciones, no quieren andarse cuidando de todo, sino que sea una ciudad que les provea de todos los servicios. That would be
Okay.
carefree. Okay,
Thanks, teacher.
you're welcome. Number, it has clean and safe streets. That's positive or negative in a city?
It's
Positive.
Positive. Next, please.
Positive.
Bien, Evelyn, continue.
Okay. Voy yo.
Mhm.
The public transportation system is terrible.
Negative.
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 Number 3.
3. There's a lot of traffic.
Mhm.
Negative.
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 Number 4.
It has beautiful buildings.
Positive.
Positive.
Here, when we say this word, don't pronounce you. Imagine that you don't have you. So we say building.
Buildings.
Buildings. Correct. Repeat, please.
By the people are friendly and polite.
Polite.
Positive.
Positive. Okay, thank you. Please, and next from 6 to 11, Emmanuel.
There's a lot of crime.
Negative.
Next,
It's very polluted.
polluted.
Negative. Negative.
Negative.
Repeat, please. Polluted.
Polluted.
Polluted. Ooh, polluted.
Polluted.
Polluted. Yes. 8.
There are nice parks and green spaces.
Positive.
Here, be careful because you have an S at the beginning. So you say spaces, no spaces, spaces. Please,
Space.
Yes.
spaces. With S, spaces. 9, please.
It has good shopping or nightlife.
positive.
Positive.
And,
Next.
mhm.
There are lots of things to see and do.
Positive.
Positive. 11.
It's expensive to live there.
Negative.
Negative.
And it's very crowded.
Negative.
Crowded. Crowded.
Muy poblado.
Crowded.
Sorry.
Crowded. Crowded is when there are a lot of people in one place, like Mexico City, that is crowded. Tokyo, New York, those are crowded cities. Okay, so for this unit, we are going to describe cities. And for descriptions, we are going to learn this grammar topic. That is the verb and preposition like. Grammar uses of like. Activity 5A. In this short grammar point, you have two uses for like. ¿Sabían que pueden usar like como verbo y como preposición? Ya lo han usado desde básico 1, pero no lo han reflexionado. Now we are going to learn about it. For example, question 1. Please. Juan.
Yo mis. No sé.
Okay, who said yo?
What's Praga like?
Prague. Prague.
La siguiente.
What's Prague like? And what is the answer? What is the answer?
It's a very beautiful city.
Letter B. It's a very beautiful city. What's Prague like? And this
Prague
is
like?
how does it look? Can you describe Prague? Here you find like as a preposition. And you have a description. It's a very beautiful city. Number 2,
Okay.
please continue.
What's the weather like?
Okay.
The answer,
Yeah, what is the answer?
it's very cold in the winter.
It's very cold in the winter. One more time, you have the verb to be. What is?
What
Subject,
is
the weather, and
the weather
preposition,
like?
So
Like.
we have a description. It's very cold in the winter. Number
Yes.
3, continue.
Do you like living in Melbourne?
Melbourne.
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 I love it. Melbourne is a really great city.
Good job. I love it. Melbourne is a really great city. Now you have auxiliary, do. And the
Do.
verb is like.
Like.
Now we have like as a verb. Do you like living in Melbourne? And you have only 2 options. Yes or no.
Yes.
And for
Yes.
the previous, it wasn't the verb like. Esto no era un verbo. ¿Te gusta el clima? No. Estamos describiendo what is the weather like. ¿Cómo es el clima? Y seguimos utilizando like. Number 4, continue please.
What's the public transportation like? Public transportation is really good actually.
Okay. One more time, you have the verb to be. What is?
What is the public transportation like?
So we have another description. Public transportation is really good, actually. And number 5, please.
And what do you like best about life in Melbourne?
Living. About living.
I think it's probably the atmosphere.
The atmosphere, all the environment. Okay. So here we have what auxiliary do you like? And now this is a verb. What do you like best about living in Melbourne? Okay, so we have 2 different options for the word like. One is for descriptions. What is the weather like? What is Prague like? And what's the public transportation like? These are questions that ask you a description. When you have verb to be, like at the end, they ask you to describe. And when you have auxiliary and like, is because you have a verb. Do you like it? Yes or no? What do you think about it?
Yes.
I like that it's this or that. So this is a verb and this is a preposition. Let's complete the rules.
Yes.
Use like as a verb to talk about something that you enjoy or you think it's nice. That is the case for
Do you like living?
A, B, C, D, E, F. ¿Cuáles serían?
A.
B.
We have letter B,
B.
pero esta es una descripción,
A.
como un verbo. Para verbos, A, I love it, ¿ok? ¿Qué otra? Como like, como verbo.
I.
Number or letter. For example, if I ask you, number 3, do you like living in Melbourne? This is a verb. Do you like? ¿Te gusta? That is here. Number 3, use like as a verb. Y ahora para describir, ¿cuáles son las preguntas? The verb to be, what is, and the preposition like. For example, in question 1, what's Prague like? ¿Qué otro ejemplo de descripción encuentran?
Question 2.
Question 2,
What's
very good.
the
What's
weather
the weather like?
The weather like.
Letter D, no?
Verb 4, the
Four.
public transportation like. 1, 2, and 4. Estas son descripciones con verbo to be y like at the end as a preposition. Good?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So let's complete this. Here you have some questions and you need to decide if it is a preposition or it's just one thing. For example, I've never been to Madrid. What is
Like.
Mm.
Madrid's like.
what's Madrid like? You can say what's Madrid like or what is it like. Cuando decimos it nos referimos a Madrid. What is Madrid like? And here we ask for one description. It's a beautiful city, there is a great atmosphere, and the people are really friendly. Now here, what is this? Verb or preposition? Case number 2. Do
You like.
Do you
Do
like?
you like?
You
Do
like.
like?
It's verb.
it's a verb. Do you like living in Moscow? I love it. So this is a verb. Number 3. It's very small, but it's near the city center.
What's your new apartment like?
like?
Very good. You asked for one description. What's your new apartment like? When you need descriptions, you use the verb to be like.
Yes.
What? The food. I love Italian food.
What is the best?
What is the best about? This is a previous activity.
What do you like the best
What
about?
do you like? What do you like the best about living in a room? And here you have like as a verb. ¿Qué es lo que más te gusta? That is as a verb. Questions?
Nothing.
No. Very good.
Sí.
Okay, so this is lesson 1. You are using like for preposition and as a verb. And you need to complete this lesson in the platform. In the platform, in my English lab, you're going to find extra activities, extra exercises. Now, let's go to your next page. Here, Lesson 2. Todavía nos da tiempo de hacer lesson 2.
Yes.
This is a more extended grammar topic. We're going to talk about crime and punishment. Do you understand crime
Yeah.
and punishment?
Crimen.
Crime, crimen, and punishment is when the law makes justice. The punishment is when robbers go to jail.
Castigo.
Yes, punishment is when you receive something, when you are a bad person, when you do something bad, you need to pay your crimes. Okay, now here you have, or you're going to find this grammar topic, passive voice. Van a hacer esta lección en su casa, van a completar esta lección, revisen vocabulario, pero les voy a explicar un poco rápido sobre el tema gramatical, active and passive voice. Okay, so for this, I also prepared a presentation for you. One more time, we're going to work with Mentimeter. ¿Quién tiene música de fondo? Por favor, estamos en clase. Okay. Have you ever studied passive voice? ¿Alguna vez han estudiado o han escuchado sobre voz pasiva?
Sí.
No.
Sí.
¿Qué saben de voz pasiva?
Yes.
¿Qué es la voz pasiva? Lo estudiaron todos en primaria. en español?
El-
Ahí estamos en junio.
Menos me voy a acordar.
I don't remember.
Okay, so I have one presentation for you. If you can look at the screen, yeah? Passive voice. Passive voice is when we talk, but we want to change the focus. So we usually have all our sentences in passive voice. We have one example here. Please, Andrea, read the example or read the first slide.
John stole the camera.
Use the active voice.
Use the active voice to talk about the things people do.
For example,
John stole the camera. Liz ate the bread.
Okay. When one person does one action, we use passive voice. Sorry, active voice. La persona hace la acción. Okay? Now, we use the passive voice when we talk about what happens to the things or people that receive the action. Now we change the focus because we focus on the object. The camera was stolen by John. ¿Quién hizo la acción? John. Pero queremos dar un enfoque a que fue la cámara lo que se robaron. So we say the camera. And we start with the object. The camera was stolen. Fue robada por John. Si no sabemos quién la robó, solo queremos interpretar que la cámara fue robada. The camera was stolen. That's why we use passive voice. Now we say the bread was eaten by Liz. I get home and I see that there's no bread and I ask, who ate the bread? Oh, the bread was eaten by Liz. We focus on the object, okay?
Okay.
The first is to talk about things that happens or what happens to things or people. We use also passive voice when the cause of the action is unknown. We don't know what is the cause. For example, thousands of people are killed on the roads every year. Y no sabemos quién está matando a esas personas. Entonces solo decimos las personas están siendo asesinadas. Thousands of people are killed. Son asesinadas. Okay, so here we use passive voice to talk about the object. Also when there is a process and we don't know the agent. Cuando en un proceso no sabemos quién recibe. Para decir que vas a la universidad a hacer tu trámite y dejas tus papeles, the papers are left at the front desk. No sabemos el nombre de la secretaria quien los recibe. Entonces no decimos la secretaria recibe. Solo decimos los papeles son entregados. Okay? Now, we have one more usage for passive voice. When the cause of the action is not important. The cakes are made in France. We know that in France, many people bake cakes, so it's not important if we say women or men or these bakers. We don't mention who. We just mention what. What? The cakes. The cakes are made in France. Okay? So we focus on the object.
Yes.
And if you want to mention who does the action, we use by. We can say the criminal was caught by the police. And penicillin was discovered by Sir Alexander Fleming. We usually are going to see examples of passive voice in newspapers because when there is a big event, we just mention what is the event, what is the object, and we don't care about the agent. We don't mention who does the action, we mention the action, okay? So let's say a bank was robbed. Un banco fue robado. Entonces nos enfocamos en el banco, no en quién hizo la acción. Un banco, Santander, HSBC, fue robado. A bank was stolen. Okay?
Sí.
Now, or robbed,
Okay.
sorry.
Okay.
Now let's see. For this, we have that active voice always starts with the subject. Then you have the verb, and then you have the object. The children saw the movie. This is active voice because we talk about children doing an action. ¿Hasta aquí vamos bien?
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
when we change to passive voice, the second part, that is the object, the movie, here the movie is not making any action, right? But we want to emphasize the object, so we say, the movie was seen by the children. La película fue vista, y ya decimos, por los niños. That is passive voice. The movie was seen by the children. Now, what is the structure? ¿Qué es lo que
Teacher.
ven? ¿Cómo es que lo formamos? ¿Cómo lo cambiamos? En todas sus presentaciones de passive voice van a necesitar el verbo to be y el past participle, el pasado participio. Observemos este ejemplo. The children saw the movie. ¿Esto es presente o pasado?
Pasado.
Pasado. Entonces, si necesitan el verbo to be, van a poner verbo to be en pasado. The movie was. Y luego el pasado participio. Seen. ¿Ok?
Yes.
Movie was seen. Fue vista. En presente tenemos aquí otros ejemplos. Popcorn, otra vez verbo to be, pero es presente. Popcorn is pasado participio sold. Sold is the past participle of sell, vender. Pasado participio sold. Popcorn is sold in movie theaters. Old movie theaters, this is simple past in passive voice. But it's plural, we use verb to be in past, where past participle, film. Y este es presente perfecto, pero no lo vamos a ver. Entonces, ¿hasta aquí vamos bien?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
let's practice.
Casi me quedo sordo. No sé. Perdón.
Oh.
What do you need? Subject, verb to be, and the verb in past participle. Okay? So we need subject, lessons. Aquí no hay ninguno. Lessons. Alguien nada más puso teach. Then verb to be, are, and past participle of teach, taught. Las lecciones son enseñadas en línea. Okay? So we have verb to be. Remember that you need verb to be, past participle. If it's present, the verb to be in present. If it is past, the verb to be in past. And always past participle. Okay? So for this week, you need to practice. Please finish your lessons in a student's book. Lesson 1 and lesson 2. And in the platform, you are going to complete all your activities. And I'll see you next week. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, teacher.
Now, do you have any questions?
No.
No.
Preguntas?
Oh,
No.
No. Okay, as I need to send you, let me.
Teacher. Teacher.
In your books, you have. Can you see?
Teacher.
Yes. In your books, on page 74, I guess, Bueno, siempre tienen un language bank. Este está en la página 134, 134. Ahí van a encontrar más información. En Classroom tienen más información. Y voy a abrir en Classroom una sección de preguntas por si tienen dudas. Va a haber asesores que me van a estar pasando sus horarios para que ustedes tengan asesorías en línea. Y necesito que completen la plataforma y nos vemos la siguiente semana para continuar con la unidad. También recuerden que no podemos hacer el examen oral. Entonces van a mandarme un audio y lo van a subir en Classroom y ese va a ser su examen oral. ¿Qué viene en su examen oral? Todo ya está en Classroom. Vayan a avisos y ahí les puse un documento donde vienen las sesiones en línea, llenen un calendario, viene su temario para la unidad 10, 11 y 12 y vienen los exámenes y qué se tiene que hacer en cada examen. Entonces revisen toda la información que les mandé y si tienen dudas me escriben en Classroom sus comentarios. ¿De acuerdo?
Sí.
Nos vemos la siguiente semana, chicos. Muchas gracias. Voy a subir esta clase en YouTube también por si quieren checarla de nuevo. Y para
Pues manda el link. Me voy a suscribir al rato, teacher.
me sigan en YouTube, por favor, cuando